Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Dennis and welcome back to One Year 365. And today we'll talk about the rules. To give you a context, I am doing the American football mini series, and this is part 4. In the first part, we talk about the football in general, and then the second one, we talk about the history, and then in the previous one, in part 3, we talk about the roles or the positions or the teams about the game. So everyone has role, and we learn about all the roles previously as well. Although I don't really know how to play the game still, just from learning from the position. But um, I feel like I learned something about there is some the snap, right? The snap is the start, I guess, of a down, probably. I'm not sure. And then after that, things happen, and it can lead to a kick off as well, I think. And yeah, yeah, there is actually a kicking the ball as well, which kind of interesting. So that today we'll talk about the rules. Probably it will be explained there. What I expect to be happening here, obviously the scoring, it's kind of written there, and then I don't know, like maybe the kick off as well, probably, or the snap as well, and then the rules for okay, so the rules is probably gonna be stuff like fouls, I guess. Like you're not allowed to do certain moves, probably. Just like soccer or basketball. Like you cannot travel, right, when doing basketball, and then when it's soccer, you cannot touch the ball, right? And yeah, that's like, and then there is offset as well, in which you run without passing ball deep into the opponent's defensive lineup. I think that's what it's called, right? Offside. Um, I mean offside. Is it offside or offset? I think it's offset, right? And then there's also like that kind of fouls. And then what else? Uh, all right. Also, probably things like how long the game will stay, and then how many like if there is rounds, in this case downs, how many rounds of that, and yeah, I guess that's the rules probably. Let's see here, scoring, that is important. I think we learned a little bit. In a history, I think a touchdown will give you 6 points, and then there is like something that can give you two, and then a one. Is it a one? Was there a one? I'm not sure though, but I think there's a three as well. So yeah. In football, the winner is the team that has scored more points at the end of the game. Actually, let's take a look at the picture here. A player for the Navy midshipman, a dark jersey, scores a touchdown, while a defender from the Tulsa Golden Hurricane, in white, looks on. Okay, the goal line is marked by the small orange pylon. Ah, I see. So this orange over here. Okay, interesting. There are multiple ways to score in a football game. The touchdown, TD, worth 6 points. I think it might actually be like a home run. I think if you play baseball, you hit the ball, right? And then the ball is just like fly away outside the arena or the stadium, and you can run. The entirety of the base, right? So it's called home run, I think, and that will score you 3 points, I believe. I'm not sure though. Don't quote me on that. But practically speaking, it's like the most points. I think it's like in basketball, you throw a ball from outside the zone, and that will give you a three score, I believe, right? So yeah, I think it's something like that. Is the most valuable scoring play in American football. A touchdown is scored when a live ball is advanced into, caught in, or recovered in the opposing team's end zone. Ah, I see. The scoring team then attempts a try or conversion, more commonly known as the points after touchdown or PAT, which is a single scoring opportunity. Oh, okay. So when the opponent gets six, you can have a chance to get one in a post for that. So that's not a six loss, but more like a five loss. instead of six, pretty much. A pad is most commonly attempted from the 2 or 3 yard line, depending on the level of play. If a pad is scored by a place kick or drop kick through the goal posts, it is worth 1 point, typically called the extra point. If it's scored by what would normally be a touchdown, it is worth 2 points. Oh, you can actually get two as well. Interesting. Typically called the 2 point conversion. In general, the extra point is almost always successful, while the 2 point conversion is a much riskier play with a high probability of failure. Um, I see. So if you attempt to get the double, you have higher chance to fail. But if you got a single, then you will have high chance to succeed, I guess. Accordingly, extra point attempts are far more common than 2 point conversion attempts. A field goal, I guess you can do that if you're kind of, let's say your score is 14 and the opponent is at 17. You got touchdown, you are at 20, right? So you're leading by 3 points. Now the opponent's team can attempt for a single so that they get 18 instead of 17, or they can risk and try for 19. Maybe you can, maybe they can catch you up, right? In like in a post for your touchdown. Actually, it's not 15, it's 14. Okay, so 14 plus 6, that's 20, right? And then the opponent said 70, so they can try for 19 instead of 20, I mean 18. So yeah, anyway, a field goal FG worth 3 points is scored when the ball is place kicked or drop kicked through the uprights and over the crossbars of the defense's goal posts. After a pad, attempt, or successful field goal, the scoring team must kick the ball off to the other team. Interesting. A safety is scored when the ball carrier is tackled in his own end zone. Safeties are worth 2 points, which are awarded to the defense. In addition, the team that conceded the safety must kick the ball to the scoring team via a free kick. Ah, I see. Okay, so when you're not doing touchdown, you can do safety, I guess. But okay. Field and equipment. Football field as seen from behind one end zone. The tall yellow goal posts mark where the ball must pass for a successful field goal or extra point. The large rectangular area marked with the team name is the end zone. Ah, I see. So yeah, this player of this team name over here. So if you go there, you got. I guess if you do touchdown, you need to go here, right? Okay. Football games are played on rectangular field that measures 120 yards long and 53 third yards. Okay, wide. Lines marked along the ends and sides of the field are known as the end lines and sidelines. Goal lines are marked 10 yards inward from each end line. I see. Weighted pylons are placed the sidelines on the inside corner of the interactions with the goal lines and end lines. White markings on the field identify the distance from the end zone. Inbound lines or hash marks are short parallel lines that mark off 1 yard increments. Ah, I see. So it's like, like a small, like just a line, pretty much like a short line every 1 yard. That is the yard line, I guess. Um, okay, yard lines which can run the width of the field are marked every 5 yards. Okay, so that's different. Okay, so that's hash marks and yard lines. Okay, this one is 5 yards. A 1 yard wide line is placed at each end of the field. This line is marked at the center of the 2 yard line in professional play and at the 3 yard line in college play. Numerals that display the distance from the closest goal line in yards are placed on both sides of the field every 10 yards. I see. Um, so this is like just the straight line, right? That yeah, this one. I think this is every 10. The line that across that is across the field. I guess that's the 10-yard mark. Goal posts are located at the center of the plane of the two end lines. The crossbar of these posts is 10 feet above the ground, with vertical uprights at the end of the crossbar 18 feet 6 inches apart for professional and collegiate play, and 23 feet apart for high school play. The uprights extend vertically 35 feet on professional fields, a minimum of 10 on college field, and a minimum of 10 yards and 10 feet, okay, on high school fields. Goal posts are padded at the base, and orange ribbons are normally placed at the tip of each upright as indicators of wind strength and direction. The football itself is an oval ball, similar to the balls used in rugby or Australian rules football. At all levels of play, the football is inflated to 12.5 to 13.5 pounds per square inch, okay, and weighs 14 to 15 ounces, okay. So that's the ball, that's the weight, okay. Beyond that, the exact dimension varies slightly. In professional play, the ball has a long axis of 11 to 11 quarter inches, a long circumference of 28 to 28 half inches, and a short circumference of 21 to 21 quarter inches. In college and high school play, the ball has a long axis, basically smaller balls, I think. Yeah. Um, and a short circle, yeah, okay. Duration and time stoppages, I guess. Football games last for a total of 60 minutes in professional and college play and are divided into two halves of 30 minutes and four quarters of 15 minutes. Okay. High school football games are 48 minutes in length with two halves of 24 minutes and four quarters of 12 minutes. The two halves are separated by a half-time period, and the first and third quarters are followed by a short break. Ah, I see. So there's like four, yeah, it's four downs, right? Pretty much. And there is the first and the second, there's like a short break, and then the second to third there's a half-time break, and then third to fourth another short break. Before the game starts, the referee and each team's captain meet at midfield for a coin toss. The visiting team can call either heads or tails. The winner of the toss chooses whether to receive or kick off the ball or which goal they wish to defend. They can defer their choice until the second half. Unless the winning team decides to defer, the losing team chooses the option the winning team did not select to receive, kick, or select a goal to defend to begin the second half. Ah, I see. So basically, to start the second half, the losing team can choose things pretty much. Most teams choose to receive or defer, or yeah, I think it's defer, right? Because choosing to kick the ball to start the game allows the other team to choose which goal to defend. Teams switch goals following the first and third quarters. If a down is in progress when a quarter ends, play continues until the down is completed. Okay. Games last longer than their defined length due to play stoppages. Oh, I see. Yeah, it makes sense. Because if there's like, what is it like? What is it? Yeah, like when the game stops, it doesn't actually, use the game time. In fact, it will be stopped as well. The average NFL game lasts slightly over 3 hours. That's interesting. Um, 60 minutes, less an hour, can last um, can last up to 3 hours. That's insane. Time in a football game is measured by the game clock. An operator is responsible for starting, stopping, and operating the game clock based on the direction of the appropriate official. Okay, so they do not determine it themselves, but they receive, like a order from the official pretty much. A separate play clock is used to show the amount of time within which the offense must initiate a play. The play clock is set to 25 seconds after certain administrative stoppages in play and to 40 seconds when play is proceeding without such stoppages. If the offense fails to start a play before the play clock reaches 00, a delay of game foul is called on the offense. Okay. Advancing the ball and downs, I see. Okay. Carolina Panthers quarterback Jake Delhomme, number 17, in the motion of throwing a forward pass. There are two main ways the offense can advance the ball, running and passing. In a typical play, the center passes the ball backwards and between their legs to the quarterback in a process known as the snap. The quarterback then either hands the ball off to a running back, throws the ball, or runs with it. The play ends when the player with the ball is tackled or goes out of bounds, or a pass hits the ground without a player having caught it. Ah, I see. So if hits the ground, then it ends, I guess. Okay. So it's interesting because if you throw the ball, there is always that chance in which the receiver cannot receive the ball properly and the ball just lands to the ground, in which the play will end, right? So it's a little bit risky as well to throw balls, I guess. uh, a forward pass can be legally attempted only if the passer is behind the line of scrimmage. Only one forward pass can be attempted per down. As in rugby, players can also pass the ball backwards at any point during a play. In the NFL, a down also ends immediately if the runner's helmet comes off. So I guess it's for safety reason, right? When suddenly your helmet comes off, then it's just an end, pretty much. The offense is given a series of 4 plays known as downs. If the offense advances 10 or more yards in the 4 downs, they are awarded a new set of 4 downs. If they fail to advance 10 yards, possession of the football is turned over to the defense. In most situations, if the offense reaches their 4th down, they will punt the ball to the other team, which forces them to begin their drive from further down the field. If they are in field goal range, they might attempt to score a field goal instead. A group of officials, the chain crew, keeps track of both the downs and the distance measurements. On television, a yellow line is electronically superimposed on the field to show the first down line to the viewing audience. I see. Kicking, okay. Uh, okay, here we go. The kickoff, right? Tampa Bay Buccaneers place kicker Connor Barth attempts a field goal by kicking the ball from the hands of a holder. This is the standard method to score field goals or extra points. I see. That is actually interesting because the fact that the ball is not round, um, yeah, it all leads to aerodynamics, like how to kick the ball properly if the ball is not round, right? Like one side can actually receive more, like air resistance than the other side, especially in the points. So yeah. There are 2 categories of kicks in football: scrimmage kicks, which can be executed by the offense team on any down from behind or on the line of scrimmage, and free kicks. The free kicks are the kickoff, which starts the first and the third quarters and overtime and follows a try, a time, or a successful field goal. The safety kick follows a safety. On a kickoff, the ball is placed at the 35-yard line, and college play at the 40-yard line. The ball may be drop kicked or place kicked. If a place kick is chosen, the ball can be placed on the ground or a tee. A holder may be used in either case. On a safety kick, the kicking team kicks the ball from their own 20-yard line. They can punt, drop kick, or place kick the ball, but a tee may not be used in professional play. Any member of the receiving team may catch or advance the ball. The ball may be recovered by the kicking team once it has gone at least 10 yards and has touched the ground or has been touched by any member of the receiving team. I see. The 3 types of scrimmage kicks are place kicks, drop kicks, and punts. Okay. Only place kicks and drop kicks can score points. Okay. The place kick is the standard method used to score points because the pointy shape of the ball makes it difficult to reliably drop kick. Yeah, I guess like I said, right? It's kind of difficult to kick a ball that is not ball shaped. Once the ball has been kicked from a scrimmage kick, it can be advanced by the kicking team only if it's caught or recovered behind the line of scrimmage. If it is touched or recovered by the kicking team beyond this line, it becomes dead at the spot where it was touched. The kicking team is prohibited from interfering with the receiver's opportunity to catch the ball. The receiving team has the option of signaling for a fair catch, which prohibits the defense from blocking into or tackling the receiver. The play ends as soon as the ball is caught and the ball may not be advanced. Interesting. Official and fouls. Okay, here we go. Fouls. Official use the chains to measure for a first down. Here, the ball is just short of the pole and therefore short of a first down. I see. Huh. Okay. Officials are responsible. I guess it's kind of referee, right? Like officials, referee, whatever you want to say. Uh, are responsible for enforcing game rules and monitoring the clock. All officials carry a whistle and wear black and white striped shirts and black hats, except for the referee whose hat is white. Oh, it's different then, I see. It carries a weighted yellow flag that is thrown to the ground to signal that a foul has been called. An official who spots multiple fouls will throw their hat as a secondary signal. I see. The seven officials of a standard seven-man crew. Lower levels of play up to the college level use fewer officials on the field are each tasked with a different set of responsibility. The referee, behind and to the side of the offensive backs, charged with oversight and control of the game, and is the authority on the score, the down number, and any rule interpretation in discussions among the other officials. Okay, so it's like the leader of the officials, I guess. Okay, let's actually skip so that it can last faster. The umpire is positioned in the defensive backfield, except in the NFL, where the umpire is positioned lateral to the referee on the opposite side of the formation. Ah, I see. The umpire watches play along the lines of scrimmage to make sure that no more than 11 offensive players are on the field before the snap and that no offensive linemen are illegally downfield on pass plays. I see. Okay, let's go to the back charts. Okay. Um, Deep in the defensive backfield behind the umpire. Oh, so okay. So the referee is at the middle, I guess, and then umpire is at the sides, and the back judge is, at the back side, just behind the umpire. I see. Ensures that the defensive team has no more than 11 players on the field and determines whether catches are legal. Okay. Whether field goal or extra point attempts are good and whether a pass interference violation occurred. The back judge is also responsible for the play clock, the time between each play when a visible play clock is not used. Ah, I see. The head linesman or down judge, okay, on one end of the line of scrimmage, okay, watches for any line of scrimmage and illegal use of hands violations and assists the line judge with illegal shift or illegal motion calls. The head linesman down judge also rules on out of bounds calls that happen on their side of the field, oversees the chain crew, and marks the forward progress of a runner when a play has been whistled dead. I see. Okay. And then there is side judge, 20 yards downfield of the head linesman. Duplicates the function of the field judge. Okay, so it's kind of the same. The line judge on the end of the line of scrimmage opposite the head linesman. They supervise player substitution. I mean, the line of scrimmage during punts and game timing. Okay. Field judge. Okay. Monitor and control the play clock. Okay, I see. Center judge. Eighth official used only in the top level of college football. I see. Oh, okay, I see. So all this referee is basically officials, and then officials is divided into these roles pretty much, which is kind of a lot of roles if you ask me. But okay, here we go. Next to the, okay. Um, Another set of officials, the chain crew, are responsible for moving the chains. The chains, consisting of two large sticks with a 10-yard long chain between them, are used to measure for a first down. The chain crew stays on the sidelines during the game, but if requested by the officials, they will briefly bring the chains on the field to measure. A typical chain crew will have at least three people. Two members of the chain crew will hold either of the two sticks, while a third will hold the down marker. A large stick with a dial on it, flipped after each play to indicate the current down, and is typically moved to the approximate spot of the ball. The chain crew system has been used for over 100 years and is considered to be an accurate measure of distance, rarely subject to criticism from either side. I see. So this is like, um, the chain crew, it's more like, like, I guess it's just to help the officials, right? I guess, but yeah. Anyway, I think that will be it for this one. That is all of the rules, I guess, and fouls as well, officials and fouls, I guess. Although it's not really mentioned like which which type of foul that can, be considered as breaking the rule, but it's still enough to, give a little bit of understanding about how the game is played by, pretty much, right? But yeah, anyway, a little bit for this one. This is part 4 of the American football mini series. Tomorrow will be fifth one. Not really tomorrow. I think probably 2 days from now. I'm not sure. There will be the fifth one, which we will talk about, the rest of this, right? Yeah, just the rest of this. Safety and brain health, leagues, tournaments, popularity, cultural influence, variations, and related sports. And then after that, the sixth one, we'll talk about NFL. And then on the seventh one, we'll talk about the Super Bowl. But yeah. Anyway, I think I'll be for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay safe, healthy. I will see you again very soon. But until then, see ya.